Welcome back to the town on the Gorkin. It is, in fact, day 8, just before noon. We completed our main quest in meeting Foreman O'Yun and reporting to Aglaya that we did talk to him. That we did not talk about a whole bunch, except that Artemy is going to take over the Termitary eventually. Then we took a nap, and since then we have had a dream about where our sister is, and Maria and Aglaya would like me to warn the Bachelor and the Haruspex, respectively, that they're hunting each other, with some vague implications about where I should find them. The Bachelor is somewhere near the town hall, and Artemy is somewhere in the Skinner's district, in one of the double houses. The twin sister is near the fighting pit, so she's somewhere in one of these 3 houses, I bet. So we're just gonna head that way as fast as possible. In theory, I should do Town Hall, then the Skinner's district, then fighting pit. But I have a feeling now that I've had a dream about my sister, my reputation's going to start plummeting again. I guess we'll see. It might be better to run to the far end and do them in reverse order. We'll take a look as we go. So for now, let's eat some food. We are hungry. The reputation is full right now, so that's good. RSD 22 months. Twire. I found some twire. You know, I had fully expected from the HBomberGuy video that I would have gotten into the polyhedron by now. The fact that I haven't is, like, throwing off my expectations a fair amount. It is still supposed to happen before the end of the game, in theory. But I haven't had anything actually push me that way, even though several characters have mentioned bits and pieces about my 4th wall breaking. Constantly trading for bandages. I need to see about getting more food. I feel like I went around and checked once already today, and the food prospects were not good. These are okay. Let's sell some of the random scrap. And then delicious egg. Okay, so the area around the town hall and the area around the Skinners, the houses should be unlocked, but probably full of burglars, except the Haruspex house, according to Aglaya's letter. So I don't know if that'll be true for both. Excuse me, that house is infected? Hello, Propane Panda. Welcome. Okay, let's deal with this burglar and then we'll go read our letter again. No, don't steal my kill. Please don't steal my kill. at the end of the last stream, we got a letter. Bachelor's whereabouts. Maria Kina, recognizing me as a mistress, she would like to ask me a favor. Bachelor, the man she wants to marry, is being hunted by the Haruspex. She says she's somewhere in the Backbone District near the town hall. This is the town hall, so we just gotta check the houses right around it. And they look actually infected, which is not what I expected. Let's go, no hit run. What is... It's a syringe. I didn't know syringes were in the game. Like, there's a whole quest with the Bachelor around his syringes getting ruined, but I hadn't actually encountered them as an item in the game before. I thought it was just like a narrative device. Ow. Stay up there. Frick. I don't think the Bachelor is in here, but it was a good raid at least. Back up. Ugh. Okay, we're just gonna leave. We're just gonna leave. We're gonna be happy with having cleaned out half this house. We got some milk and crackers and stuff. We got a syringe. Wild. I have no idea what that's worth. That's a butcher shop, or a grocer at least. Bachelor's not hiding out in the grocery shop, is he? Didn't think so. How much is the syringe worth? 40. I really thought it would be more. I'll buy the fish, though. Let's just keep working our way around. I wonder if this is a district that I've already thrown my sister out of and it's supposed to be infected. That is a man. That is several men. Why? What the? My reputation is still perfect. This is gonna hurt my reputation to kill them. No? These are not burglars. What is happening? Patch ourselves up. What? Boots. They're really nice boots. Are these guys here to protect the Bachelor? Or is this just a random house that some dudes are in? Am I the burglar? It's the house the Bachelor was in. It just has dudes that attack you on sight as soon as you come in.
The wretched wound has opened. I'm tired. I've had enough.
You're exactly who I'm looking for. The girl of notable peculiarity. What is it in your eyes? Are those tears? Today must be a bad day for one of us. I want to warn you, go away from here, cold demon. Someone who wants to kill you will come here soon. Oh, don't bother. I can't read hearts like you do, but I can read the poignant hatred in your eyes, all right. I'd be very happy if someone were to kill me, the cold demon. I wish she whom I need wouldn't value your life so much. I have special plans for her. Special! Go away, Bachelor. I managed to find the Bachelor and deliver a timely warning. I hope the reward will be worth the trouble. If I didn't find a windowsill to stand on, I don't know that this quest was completable at all. Guess I should load up on ammo for my tiny gun. Tablets. Alright. Reputation still spotless in spite of the multiple murders. Let's go find the horror specs. Letter is Skinner's District, Double House. This is the Skinner's District. I assume these are double houses? Because they're twice as wide. I'll go take a look. Should not be burglars in them. This is Peter's place. Those aren't double, those are big. This might be these where they're sort of connected. Oh god, it's got worms. It's got... Oh god. Okay, I think I found the right house. I can't jump up on the bed, no. Okay, okay. It's got a worm and a butcher, okay. I guess I need to stock up on ammo for my tiny gun. There's probably more unfair nonsense than this in the game, but I'm having a hard time thinking of it now. I don't know that I've ever killed Nadong before in the game. Stay there. Stay there. Pleased with yourself, Artemy? Bodyguards were taken out by a 90-pound girl.
Wash your hands of it. Slow and steady wins the race.
So, Bodo's children are not an obstacle for you. Well, then it's one or the other. Either you've come to me with kind intentions, or you are my death. If it's the latter, you won't get to me as quickly as you got to them. But if it's the former, do not harbor hard feelings, for they do not know what they're doing. I want to warn you, Barak. The Bachelor is after you. He'll find you soon, and who knows what happens to you then. Well, he won't be able to deal with me on his own. But you've offed my companions, you deadly girl. Is he surrounded by henchmen as usual? He's just as horrible a bloodsucker as you are. How could you both not surround yourselves with killers? And why would you warn me? You know full well there aren't many reasons for me to trust you. Aglaia asked me to, Barak. She's worried about you. I see. Go away, Barak. The sooner the better. Remember, I bring good tidings. Well, done. Let's go find my sister. Smoked meat. Sell all my kerosene. Honestly, sell the crackers too. I don't need those. I'm now carrying a bunch of drugs. Those are worth quite a bit of money. Yeah, the jackboots are a lot better. Okay, we'll sell the old wellies and keep the jackboots. I also have a Twirine, a Miradorm, and a Novocaine now. Okay, now into an actual infected district, which we will try to permanently uninfect. Let's check the bone stick lot while we're going by. I don't think there's anything going on in there, but you know, it's the bone stick lot. You never can tell. Good. I was kind of hoping that I'd run into the albino in a crowd of people again and just keep another district from getting infected. Haven't been quite so lucky. Good. Alright, so here's the fighting ring. I strongly suspect I will never be allowed to fight in it. No entrances on this side of these buildings. Not going to have a sure sign that she's in here until I find her. So we probably are going to have to reload a couple times here. Looks like not this one. Oh, there's an even higher floor. Lots of very sick people. Almost. Still, she's not here. That's fine. Middle house. Middle house has no entrance. Weird. You're so sweet. Such eyes. They're not like mine at all. Let's try kindness. Need to leave at once. See, the whole place is infected. You know as well as I do that the infection won't do anything to me. I can't go anywhere now. I'm now hated by those who used to love me. They torture me, they burn me, and hurl stones at me. I have to hide. Go away regardless. I'm asking kindly. No, I'm not going anywhere, dear sister. I'm staying here. I feel better here. Back there, I'm not needed. Yes, you are. People love you. They think you're a saint. Yes, that's true. I know that there's another place where the air is still healthy and where my faithful are waiting for me. They miss me. I'm leaving tonight to seek refuge with them. You have adherence? I've talked about that. It'll be better that way, sister. She has left the district. Got a lemon. Go. Alright, let's go get paid for warning the Bachelor and Haruspecs about each other. How do I feel about the other direction? I like the puzzle of figuring out where everyone is. That part seems fine to me, but I am incredibly aware that none of those side quests had any storytelling in them. That at this point, when I talk to my sister, she just repeats lines. I just go through the same conversation over and over again. And finding the Bachelor of the Haruspex, I have no idea what they're doing in either of those houses other than to be a puzzle for me. And I never will find out, because there is no answer. There's no story happening at all in any of it. And that kind of sucks. It's definitely very suddenly very weak. Like, main quest and 3 side quests done before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so like I'm not feeling the time pressure in any way. I have extremely abundant resources, and at this point you have to be really good at the save scumming to keep going. So I don't feel any technical challenge in any of it. Realistically, with no clue whatsoever, it would suck, but I could check every house in the entire town every day, reload, and then go do the thing I need to do. There's nothing actually stopping me from doing that on any level. You could brute force these puzzles, I guess is what I'm saying. I hate this cloud. This cloud and this guard. Alright, two pains in my butt. We'll go around. There's definitely this feeling of going through the motions to finish the game at this point, which is really unfortunate. I don't think I felt that in any other run. Have what I'm looking for. But that's why I was talking about meeting the powers that be. I felt like that should have happened by now. And that would actually be something different and novel and interesting. Even if it is sort of tacked on or whatever. We talk about where that happens in the story. Maybe that's what'll happen tomorrow. But at this point, I'm aware, even though the game is technically 12 in-game days long, day 12 has no challenges to it. There are no quests to accomplish other than your new game plus type stuff. Your bonus talks. And there's no plague in the town either. You're just free walking through it. So there's really only 11 days of gameplay. And then effectively a post-credits scene.
Yes.
I've warned the Bachelor. Tell me, was it you who provided him with such an entourage? Yes. What, did they attack you? Don't act surprised. Impossible. I warned them not to kill anyone but Earthkin, the butchers and the worms enslaved by the wicked Haruspex. That had been a mistake, Maria. To them, I am Earthkin. That's not a mistake. Hey, she gave me the drugs I've been looking for. Okay, I have Firmicinum. Ferromycinum. I can use that to talk to somebody who's sick without needing a cure. Okay, I still have space. Let's go talk to Aglaia. We'll get paid. Maybe she'll give me more drugs. That'd be great. I found the haruspex and warmed him like you asked. The part where his beastly bodyguards almost tore me to pieces is, I suppose, too obvious to mention. I won't forget this, girl. You've done a good deed. It goes without saying that I'm going to reward you, and from now on, trust you a little more, which will in no time reflect on the general local attitude towards you. There was no need. She gave me other drugs. Monomycinium. Antibiotics. So now, if for some reason I need to talk to Victor, I can give him some drugs that aren't a cure. I'm a little less worried about running out of cures before the end of the game. I won't be quest blocked. I am going to head over to Bad Grief and see about buying some ammunition. I have a feeling that'll make some of the next few days easier. And maybe we'll run into a Schmouter kid on the way. That would be very handy. Ooh, give me that. I think we've only got a couple of hours left of that. And then I guess it's napping till mime time. Got all this protective clothing. I should use it next time I'm looking for my sister. I'm forced into a plague house. I think the RNG on Schmouter kids is just always terrible, but I've been really desperately looking very hard this run. I do feel especially short on cures. And I guess because I'm not seeing narrative happening around things, I'm not involved in finding Schmouters with the kids or working with Artemy on his cure in any way. Like, I don't see a path to where I get more cures.
A fool's tongue is long enough to cut his own throat.
I don't remember what kind of ammo I need. I think I need shotgun shells, actually. This syringe is not worth a lot. Neither is the twire, but it takes up a lot of inventory space when I can only trade it for Tyrene. I don't need a lemon either. The rest of the food's fine, I suppose. None of that is shotgun ammo. One moment, Bad Grief. Okay.
The trollop has us all.
That was pistol ammo. Let me buy a bunch of pistol ammo. Okay, it's pistol ammo that it takes. Good to know. tiny gun, little pistol shots.
What is he trying to find? He who loans a minute owes a year.
Alright, I've got 8 shots total, 2 loaded in the gun. Yes, tiny ammo for our tiny gun, for our tiny hands. The kind that Lara would use. Noshkin doesn't want crowbars for anything, does he? I'm pretty sure I've talked to everybody today, but since I'm here, I'm poking on Notkin and Murky for running back somewhere to go sleep, I guess.
Something's wrong.
Nope. Notkin just sounds drunk. That's fine.
They'll have to stitch my belly back together.
Okay. Nothing. Good to know. Well, Capella's place is all infected, so I guess we're gonna go stay at the Bachelor's. Murky's in the top 5. Top 5 of what? Just stay at Lara's. Lara's running a shelter with pathologic weirdos. Is there anyone who does not qualify but is in fact in this game? Like, is Lara too normie? She does not count as a pathologic weirdo. Haven't had a chance to make Lara confess her sins to me. Should I check in with the Sabarovs? Let's go check in with the Sabarovs, just in case. I really don't want to miss anything. I want to give this run as much of a chance as possible. Does the army come tomorrow? Tonight, rather? Or is it one more day? I kind of felt really boned there. Oh, pathologic. We can sleep in the Sabrovs, so if they don't have anything for us, we'll just do that. And then we'll go to the theater. I don't really know what Clara meant by "to them I am Earthkin." I'm pretty sure Clara is just Earthkin. We literally came from the ground. That's how the game starts. And we're set to be Mistress of the Earth. If being Mistress of the Earth doesn't make you Earthkin, I don't know what does. I suppose thematically it does set up really nicely to have Maria hire a bunch of henchmen whose only orders are to kill any Odong or butchers. Shoot! Oh, that bridge. What is up with this bridge? I suppose I have all these immunity boosters. Clothes. Put on the cloak and stuff. Not infected. Just needed to take a bunch of drugs. That was always the answer. Curious with all of these. My protection from infection goes up to 50% before it even gets to my immunity.
My stomach hurts as if I was filled with straw. My eyes look just like buttons, don't.
Okay, nothing there. We'll follow up our drugs with more drugs as we'll take a Neurodorm nap to restore our health again.
I will restore the order here.
All right. Drugs. Neurodorm. Sleep. So it's currently 5:30. Yeah, 6 hours. That'll take me to 11:30. Very nearly full health, no exhaustion. I received no new letters and no new quests. I missed nothing. Let's eat. Eat that egg, that milk, and it was some peanuts somehow. To the theater. Shouldn't have slept so much since I'll need to sleep to get a dream about my sister tomorrow. Whatever. Go this way around it. Gotta go counterclockwise, otherwise it doesn't make any sense to me.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater.
Right.
Do you see now how many mysteries the Earth holds? The more terrifying the mystery, the deeper it lies, and the fewer wells can reach them.
The bowels of the abattoir were turned inside out. There are beasts there.
It's filled with roots and dirt. The underground doors opens easily, but you can only go through if there's a grave behind it. Hopefully you catch my drift?
There's nothing to lose anyway. The soldiers will be here tomorrow. Let's risk it.
You're free to go anywhere. To the right, to the left, upwards, even downwards a bit. You're welcome to make sure there are no tricks.
Who cares? It's all the same in the end.
Aruspix thinks it's a trial. He doesn't have the faintest idea how we live here.
I feel like that's the theater performance that does the least. At least we get this cutscene. I'm sure it's just like reusing an asset, but it is wild to me. This is the first time I've really paid attention to the fact that Commander Block's map is the same as my map. That feels meaningful somehow. I'm not sure I could articulate why, but it just does. All right, we're up super early. The army is here. We have no new letters. We have no quests for today yet. I'm actually going to opt for taking a nap first, even though we're not exhausted. We could, at a minimum, kickstart the Finding Our Sister quest. Interesting. This is still under day 8. As I woke up, I heard her voice saying, "Who has betrayed me? Who has led them to my hiding place? Would I have known where to conceal myself next, were it not for the warning of my faithfuls who brought me inside? For my enemies gathered everyone they could and surrounded my shelter. Would I have escaped were it not for my miraculous powers? In that 3-sided yard, my faithfuls saw me from high above and set out to rescue me, protect me, and give me shelter, for they have witnessed the miracles I have shown them, and were convinced by my righteous deeds." Three-sided yard. Like, my instinct is the bone steak lot, but that feels really vague. It's gotta be an infected district, right?
I used to go out in the night, only to be found someplace new in the morning.
This very clearly is a four-sided yard, so she's not here. Does she mean around this stairway to heaven? Maybe? I sincerely don't know. Fella, you got anything
The
for me?
children
Nope.
no longer remember me.
Alright, let's head up to Commander Block, see if he has anything for me. We'll work on making a round. I was just saying how I kind of liked the puzzles, and now I feel like I wasn't really given a hint at all. One lemon is not a grocery store. Prison.
I'm feverish.
Here you are, sweet child. I've heard a lot about you. So you are the girl who cursed dozens of people with her holiness, while also being persecuted and hounded for it by the unruly rabble? It's not their fault. They just mistook me for someone else. Doesn't excuse them in the slightest. He believes me. Of all the people, Commander Block believes me unquestioningly. The base rabble always trample what they don't understand. Always repay for a heroic deed with ingratitude. They ought to be spoken to in a different language, and I swear they will be. From now on, I'm not letting you out of my sight. You need reliable protection. There's no need for that. See, I'm unharmed. That's because I'm invulnerable. I won't allow anyone to harm you. No one ever said anything like this to me before.
We fought a just, defensive war, and now they want to turn us into a punitive expedition, into Causeman.
Why did they say they've sent you here to your death? I've long become inconvenient to the Supreme Command, since I've started my reform of the armed forces. Since I've turned the tide of the war, since I've made clear that I'm striving to make perpetual warfare, the livelihood of corrupt generals, a thing of the past. They've tried and failed to get me killed by enemy fire, so now they're taking their chances with an unknown strain of plague. So the powers that be are hoping the plague will kill you? They are. And they're also hoping that this mission will disgrace me. I, Commander Block, a hero of both campaigns, victorious and venerated by the people, now appear as a headsman and a scourge. When they gave me the assignment, they went out of their way to make clear how much the people are going to despise and detest the destroyer of this tiny town. Who? I feel that what they want the most is for this town to continue to exist, diseased and miserable, in flames and pain, a smithy of shared suffering, but still there. They've sent the army in out of fear of popular opinion. The people wield power, too. Then the people won't hate you. They will. The powers that be will take care of that. They know how to manipulate the masses. They will frame the town's destruction not as a necessary sacrifice for the sake of public safety, but as a horrific mistake resulting from confusion. They will take all the credit for any good that will come out of this, and let me take all the backlash. So the powers that be have destined you for the disease.
I'm feverish.
A riveting conversation, but no progress. Alright, infected district. Three-sided yard. Yes, I am looking for a three-sided yard, which I believe is this. That's my guess. Although I'm open to other options. Because, like, there's a whole bunch of houses around this. Feels like I need to narrow it down more than this. Like, do they mean Yulia's? Should be this house? Let's start with that one. The lighting on that plague cloud distracted me. Let's put on our clothes. Of course, there's two entrances on this. We'll try both. Seems unlikely. Completely avoided infection. Feeling good. Not really surprised. We're gonna check this house anyway. I suppose we'll check across the street too. Negative here. Now I do feel like I'm just solving algorithmically. That is not very exciting. Though I suppose the game is sort of just punishing. Maybe I need to accept that again. It's not meant to be fun. It's not an exciting puzzle. It is a harrowing test of misery. Okay, so it was none of this. I think I was better off where I started. Let's get these and work our way around. I said high up, so I kind of doubt it's these shorter ones, but... This house technically has 2 entrances. Oh, that entrance is fake. Awesome. Okay. On one hand, I appreciate them trying to actually use how anxiety-inducing it is to stand still in this game. What a bunch of nonsense. back where I first started. Here. Ugh. I feel like I'm not gonna find her. This is just gonna be an hour of wasted time. Not here. Found you. Our hands don't look the same either. Oh, that doesn't complete the quest. Okay. And convince her to leave. Woohoo! Got out. All right. Well then, that done. Let's go ahead and check on Yulia, Lara, and make our way over to the Crucible. Sister situated. Day 9.
It's so lonely here.
Do you have any specific examples in RSD of events that the Changeling initiated in the other runs? I mean, I do know what you mean. I do not feel like a driving force in this playthrough. Like, that part I feel very acutely. We are very clearly not making decisions or actions. We're not caught up in the machinations. I'm not even sure the game is happening to us. It's just sort of happening around us. And I know that's like the HBomber criticism, that Clara's run is definitely rushed and incomplete. we've gotten halfway through and the quests have just gotten empty.
Dogs are howling. Why?
We did not actively prevent Ava from jumping, but we also weren't really involved in it in any way. And if anything, it looks like it was Maria's idea. That seems to be what we picked up. Maria talked about how important Daniel's work is and that the cathedral's where it's gotta happen, but it needs a proper miracle sacrifice in it. So, like, she didn't tell Ava to do the thing, but she put all of the pressure on so Ava would come to that conclusion herself. But it's not even made explicit that it happened or didn't happen in this run. I do believe Ava is just gone now, though, but nobody's talking about it. So... Maria and Yorkie. I'll head over to Aglaya.
What?
Today he will seed it and understand everything. The tower itself will speak to him. I wish I could get into that tower too. Huh. That was new. She's talking about the Bachelor's visit to the tower.
The Inquisitor is ignoring the Commander. That's a good sign. But Bachelor is at one with her. She's outplayed him. Will he trust us now?
And of course, not his visit all the way to the bottom. Just right inside. Aglaya, have you got anything for me? Oh, it's still early in the day. Still really early.
There's little time left, and I still need to do so much.
What happened to your legs, my dear? How terrible. Where did you get such frightful stains?
Wait, sorry. Just something I thought I saw. It's hard to see properly in this half-light. What is it? I don't see my souls. Here's the plan for today. You will go to the Canes and find out why this perverted polyhedron is so precious to them. Same pretext. Say I'm accusing them of starting the epidemic. The "it's a work of art" evasion is no longer an acceptable answer. The Canes? No, I'm not going. They hate me. Oh, poor dear. They hate you? Really? I'm beginning to feel for you. But don't worry. You're now under my protection. They won't dare harm you. Avoid Maria, though. The niece is unpredictable. What? What did you say? Quiet. Don't be so twitchy. Then find out from them how to get inside the polyhedron, and do. Once you're in there, do whatever you want. In short, it's the usual thing. I'll find out what I want to find out one way or the other. May I ask you a question? A single one. Who am I? I haven't understood it yet, my dear. Perhaps you will bring me the answer today, on the soles of your shoes. Have you ever seen them? They're most curious. Every time you walk away, I look at your feet. A very interesting view.
You're afraid of me, Aglaya, aren't you? That's why you haven't killed me yet. Afraid that if you do, something will be irrevocably broken, right? Okay. Georgi will give me passage into the polyhedron. Which is good, because Victor's sick, so talking to him is complicated.
Most men only die because they know not how to prevent dying.
Georgi Kane, I've come to you upon orders from Inquisitor Aglaya Lilac. So what is it, or did you hope to intimidate me by saying the name of my daughter-in-law? Would your attitude change if I told you that my visit will determine the fate of the polyhedron? Do you believe your visit is that significant? Now it is you who will answer my questions candidly and without prejudice. Are you one of Aglaya's confederates? No, I am her victim. Yes? I doubt it. Believe it or not, but the timing of your visit is impeccable, for while we've been trying to salvage what little has been left to us by our dearest brother, we've come close to solving the mystery of Simon's transformation. Would you be willing to do us a very important favor? Will you answer my questions if I do? Yes, and we'll let you inside the tower. That's what we've come for, isn't it? What do you want from me? We'd like you to go to the dormitory and find Dr. Rubin, who is hiding from our wrath there. Tell him he's been forgiven. Let him come here. Together, perhaps, you could find out what happened to Simon's blood. What happened to it? I don't understand. The Bachelor said that he and the Harusbecks have been trying to solve the riddle posed by the mysterious blood that appears to be strangely identical to Simon's. The answer to the riddle is hiding inside the dormitory, risking his life every minute. If you go there, we will provide you with medicine, weapons, and protective clothing. What do I have to do with this? That's what I want to find out. Alright, I'll go. He has given me a repellent cape.
Most men only die because they know not how to prevent dying.
It's better than the cloak. Capes are better than cloaks. Heard it here first. Okay. To the dormitory, then. The blood that is the same as Simon's is the blood from underground. It flows underneath the city. Literal life stream. That's why Simon's blood was special. Through him flows the city's blood. Well, at least something is happening today. Also, he gave me more bullets, so I have lots of bullets now. Should probably be more worried about that. town is dying. It all ends in less than 4 days. Morning of the 9th day has come. 4,300 dead. Day 9, in which the changeling finds out that in her case, a thief and a miracle worker are not necessarily the same thing. Wouldn't have assumed that they are. In fact, I've been denying that I'm a thief the whole time. Ow. Haha, the arsenic got burned. Not expecting anything here, but while we're running through, let's check in with the Savarovs.
No, I can't.
Yeah. I feel like they've just been effectively turned off for the rest of the run.
Did you hear that?
Peter is sick. Okay, Victor and Peter are sick. I don't think it can be more than one a day. We're on day 9. Which I think means I need 4 or 5 cures before the end of the game. Which, if the other runs are indicative of how that goes, is now what time on RST? Do we just let everyone get sick? I'd rather not, but alright, Ruben is somewhere in the dormitory. Let's check the short block first. Hey, I found the Bachelor!
Truth does not do as much good in the world as the appearance of truth does evil. So,
do you know where Ruben is? Ruben is away. He's coming back tomorrow. And now here's a riddle for you, Clara. Go on. On day 5, Ruben said that Simon's unique, most singular blood had all been spent to the last drop, gone into the vaccine. Then yesterday, the Haruspecs made a serum out of blood that was structurally similar to Simon's, even surpassing it. What does that have to do with me? That's just what I wanted to ask you about. I've tracked down some of the commoners you had cured. Their cells were mutated, but they hadn't become immune. This is thrilling news. I don't know what to say.
You look unhealthy.
That... Okay. This was not helpful. He just said Reuben is gone. I still need to find him. And that I change people's blood with my magic. They don't become immune, but they do become cured. Artemis, also in the short block. What is happening?
A commander like this belongs to the front line. Who sent him on this inglorious errand?
Tell me, Burak, where did Reuben get blood that was similar to Simon's? Do you know who the bound are? Yes, I do. Have you by any chance touched a bound person with your hand lately, condemned them to death, or converted them to your wild religion? Those are all touches, too. Think about it carefully. Even if I didn't touch them myself, I know who might have done it for me. It's highly likely. Well, their blood was similar to Simon's. Aspity and Yulia, no doubt about those two. Some others, too. Let me think. Also evil. How is Yulia evil? Oh, she is. She is level-headed and clever, which is why she doesn't look it, when in fact, she was the one who masterminded all the Saburovs have recently put into practice. She's the ideologist of humility. She came up with a scientific justification of necessary death. Okay. What's special about her blood? See, Simon's blood bore a weak resemblance to a different blood, as though Simon was the worst in a line of the amazing beings I am talking about. His blood could help, were it not so battle-worn. He was, after all, an old man. That's what I think. What does Reuben have to do with it? We've seen the Bachelor. We expected him to come here, but we probably missed each other. He's the one that talked to Reuben. I haven't seen him for 5 days. I wasn't sure he was even alive. Georgie wanted to off him. Georgie has pardoned him. Okay, it's too early to reach a conclusion, but I can go back and say I went looking for Reuben, he's still hiding, but I told some of his friends that he's pardoned. So it's weird that Artemis asks me if I've talked to the Bachelor when the Bachelor is here. But okay. Got really lucky there. I only checked the short block because it's smaller. Figured it'd be easy to check. Reuben stands between me and Simon. Let's get back. Talk to Georgie. He should let me into the tower. And we'll go into the tower. And that should give us something nice to conclude this session on. So, if I'm understanding Artemis, there's an herb right here in the middle of nowhere. There's a bunch of people just standing around that I can't talk to. Weird. Okay. If I understand Artemis, he is suggesting that Yulia came up with the justification for the Saburovs to enforce their version of martial law, where their watchmen beat people in the streets to death. She justified that some death is necessary, and they took that to the extreme. Burn the rat, not me. Burn the rat, not me. Or just don't do your job, that's fine. I don't know how Artemy would know that. Even if I accept it to be true. I mean, I accept Yulia is evil. She absolutely tried to get the Bachelor killed. So, like, that's not a problem for me. Eating food. Okay. Georgi, I didn't quite do what you asked me to do, but I'd like you to let me into the tower anyway.
Most men only die because they know not how to prevent dying.
I've found out curious things about myself. What kind of things are they? Do tell. Simon Kane and I are connected, perhaps even similar. Through me, he'll return into this world. Interesting. So you say you are the means to his rebirth. How is that to be understood? Surely not literally. Otherwise, forgive me for not believing you. From what I know, Simon will return as early as tomorrow. How? That is none of your concern. You want to bring him back with magic, but that's sacrilegious. Such matters are beyond your comprehension, changeling. So you're the miracle worker here? Is that what you believe? The polyhedron can work miracles. It exists in defiance of all laws, imaginable and otherwise. It is a miracle made real, the pinnacle of our legacy, the utopia in the flesh. If it's destroyed, it'll be lost for good. Nothing like it will ever be known to history. Why? It is capable of capturing a miracle. It captures the soul. It captures childhood. It feels like a world of eternal bliss to children who dwell within it. That's why they've set up their own republic there. And now it's your turn to speak. What was that blood the Bachelor was talking about? I don't understand a thing. These destroyers, the Haruspecs and the Bachelor, say that I was involved in the creation of that blood. If you and Reuben find the origin of the blood that holds a likeness to that of Simon's, then perhaps we may avoid having to banish Nina. It isn't Simon himself that we need, but the power of creation he wields. We live for its sake. Simon is not the polyhedron's purpose. Rather, Simon's purpose was to allow such polyhedrons to spring up in this world. I'd like to convince myself personally. I'm afraid Nina will show you nothing, since you're no longer a child. All that you may possibly see there are cold walls and an empty flight of stairs. You promised. Victor will open the path into the polyhedron for you. Only he knows how to earn the good favors of his beloved wife. He was the only one she'd ever listened to. It's a lot to reflect on. Okay. Okay, we gotta talk to Victor. I have drugs to keep him up. Let's save. Monomycene. That should help them live to see tomorrow. I will see midnight. The diseased will peek out from the other world for a little while today. I'll put them to sleep at midnight again. Give me the medicine and come in.
If we conquer our passions, it is more from their weakness than from our strength.
Victor, I'm going to the polyhedron with Georgie's permission. Yes, I know, but I'm afraid you're not going to see anything there. I doubt that Nina would be favorably disposed towards you. We'll see. How can I get past the barrier? Why? Because she loves me and is pained by the thought of me having to part with my life, without even a guarantee that the whole affair will be a success. What are you talking about? I can't even begin to imagine the immense power of voluntary self-sacrifice. Don't you know there have been examples in history where someone living could give their life so that someone deceased could spend a little more time with their loved ones? You want to sacrifice your life for Nina? Nina is not just my beloved wife. She is a spirit in whose name one could charge into battle with despair itself. Nina has imbued the town with spiritual force. Nina has breathed life into it, and Nina too will save it from the Fourth Army and its cannons. What about Simon? I thought he was the town's protector. Any member of the Circle of the Bound will readily sacrifice themselves for the sake of the town's salvation. Had Simon been a giant with enough blood in him to fill an ocean, the town would have been saved, but Simon's blood was only enough for a handful of people. How do I get into the polyhedron? Simple. Go all the way to the top. You'll see my son there. If he's not there, wait for him or tell one of his dogheads to call him. When he receives you, you should immediately, without answering any questions, without a greeting or an apology, say the following words. Fane's Eye. Thank you. Fane's Eye. Okay. Let's go in. Let's go in. Let's go to the bottom. Long walk up many stairs. The polyhedron in the sequel is supposed to be even larger. Visiting that will be a very real chore. But we'll get a sprint button, so maybe it's not so bad.
Hold our own. Let them try.
I haven't seen you here before. This is the one person my sister has not talked to. She's not been to the polyhedron. I've never been here before. Why? It's just my fate. Never what it ought to be.
What else should one do if he's filled with bags?
So, it's all about trickery to you? Wherever have you come from? No, I detest trickery. If we ourselves are to suffer a deception, our hands are no longer tied. I did quick save, so let's try these.
We can hold our own. My seams are running.
Fane's Eye. Now that's a surprise. Well then, come in. Do you wish to join us? Now of all times, when they've just rolled in that cannon, the mere sight of it would be enough to tear down 5 towns like ours. You astonish me. I'm not sure you're aware that I'm friends with Notkin. Good. An honest and straightforward answer. Well then, prepare for quite an ordeal. Wait, first I'd like to know what this tower is. This tower? It's a toy that makes any adventure pale in comparison. It's a treasure. It gives the gift of dreams. Here the most fragile fantasy can be played with forever. Here you can share your dreams with others and play in them together. But a dream can be retold if it's worth it. Yeah, or drawn, or... I mean, that's just silly. Don't you know that the most precious aspects of dreams, the things that make you want to keep on dreaming forever and never wake up again, vanish moments after you wake up? A dream can't be recorded or retold. The magic is gone then. You're saying this tower can preserve dreams. Not just preserve them, bring them back, continue them, share them with others. Not just the characters in the worlds, but the very fragrances of the ether, the most magical of dream experiences, the most precious of fantasized events. These bare walls can do that? Are you seeing bare walls? I feel sorry for you. What do you see? I see ships of flame traversing the islands of Orion. We won't find a lot of mutual understanding. Come in and look around. I'd have gladly showed you what I'd like to see, but you're a grown-up already. It's all right. Can't talk to that schmouter kid. Let's make our way down. Once again, adults see this as paper. The children see mirrors and glass. And we're here! Yikes! Where have you come from? You can't be in here! Why not? We're playing here. You should be playing over there. Say, have you killed everybody yet? What? Those humble ones of yours, we've been arguing and arguing. He says you're the only one who can save all of the bound. Well, I say you're the only one who can kill them all off and win. Who are you? My name is Teensy, and he's Tot, but it's better to call him Measly. And me, well, you can call me Thrush. Russian. Just everybody has 5 names. Don't know why. How do you know who I am? I'm telling you, we're playing here. See, we're building a town in the sandbox. Now we're playing Plague. Look inside. Notice anything? I think I'm about to go crazy, and I mean it, literally. What's going on? Who's doing this? Is this the powers that be, whom Aglaia Lilac hates so much? What is to say of her being so loathsome towards them? This is awkward. I suppose we should introduce ourselves. I'm Measly, and she's Thrush. How did I get here? How did you get here? You tell me. Actually, this was never supposed to happen. You're meant to be over there. Look into the sandbox. This must be a miracle, I suppose. A miracle. But you're probably the one who can do something like that. You can work miracles, right? I keep arguing with this dumbhead here. She says we're playing with you wrong. Says you're supposed to kill and not go around saving folks. Naughty you. What? Well, we really didn't put you in that sandbox so you'd save everyone. You've been going at it with such vim and vigor. You must really be alive. I guess you could really save everybody. Just imagine how great that would be. So you're kind, it turns out. Of course I am. She's the mean one. Thrush. More like Crush. Alright, I'm shutting up. Hey, no fighting over there. Better see our guest off. I'd rather be going. Go through the wall. None of this is really there. Just glass that reflects thoughts. Thanks. It says go through the wall, but I don't think I can actually do that. I have to go through here. I guess we go report to Aglaya. She knows. I think she wanted to know if I could see them. That's how she finds out what she wants to know either way. She wants me to check out the polyhedron to find out if I can make it to the bottom.
What?
I do like that conversation with Khan breaks up those lines. So if, for some reason, if you haven't picked up that Clara's first lines are inherently contradictory, it breaks them into two answers the way all of her interactions have been. Throughout the whole run, I've been able to choose to either be nice or be mean and evil and vile. And so here, by splitting the lines up, it is clear that you can choose to detest trickery or claim if we are to suffer deception, our hands are no longer tied. Those two things cannot be true at once. You cannot detest lying and then justify lying. So by separating them, they point that out, the duality of Clara, which I do think is fun. If you have made it this far and not re-examined Clara's role in the opening, it's right there spelled out for you. That's cool. I like that. Hey, Aglaya, we live in a sandbox. How do you feel about that?
So this is what Block has in mind. Is he noble enough to disregard his personal feelings?
She's paid me for getting rid of my sister. Good.
There are so many crows in the sky.
I've found out everything. Really? Amazing. You exceeded the expectations then, since no one was demanding such dedication from you. It was I who have found out everything. You have helped me there. I even feel a certain degree of gratitude. Well, so what have I found out? I doubt you know what I know, or else we'd be seeing less arrogance out of you, you plaything. Why, no offense taken. A typical example of rushing to conclusions. You're behind the times. Truths, like the one you just presented me with, are no longer fashionable. That's more in the Bachelor and Harspex line. By the way, don't give them hints if you meet them. Let them work it out on their own. Alright, so what have you found out? Summing up the conclusions drawn from your discoveries, I shall combine the casual relationships into a coherent picture. I shall reveal the arcane nature of the disease to you from a mystical standpoint. That is how it should have been revealed to you. I suppose all that I will tell you will be no news to you. Still, it will determine the wording of your verdict. sounds ominous. Are you interested? Do listen, it's really about you. So the Earth begat the town, two entirely different worlds that have nonetheless managed to achieve a symbiotic coexistence. That was a miracle, a true miracle. Normally, civilization devours tradition. Why? People aren't inclined to be on good terms with their own history. Yet in this particular town, the impossible happened. The people prevailed over the power structures. How did it happen? As you can see, the town is small. It's made up of people, not ranks and functions. Fortuitous circumstances had enabled people to create an environment here that everyone could be happy in. That was entirely due to a miraculous coincidence. What coincidence? It's rare that a succession of extraordinary personalities should stand at the helm for 5 generations. It's even rarer that they should have the love and respect for one another that allows them to carry on the policies of their predecessors. Here, they had grown used to the miracle, and that was their undoing. They wanted to learn to control the miracles. The elder generation had constructed an environment for bringing up the young in the same spirit. They paid for it. Why? The law stipulates a harsh punishment for an attempt to capture a miracle. The disease is a means of restoring the balance. A part of the chimeric town must be destroyed, and there is no turning back. The town and the miracle cannot coexist, and I swear I know what the choice should be between them. But what about me? What's going to happen to me? You are an instrument of the law, but your mission has been accomplished, and it being my mission not merely to understand you, but also to rein you in, I hereby prohibit you from existing, and banish you from the town. The captured miracle shall pass into oblivion. You may vanish into the earth that you came from. Go. I permit you, both of you, to be exact, to die in any way you prefer, on one condition. You are forbidden from even approaching the commander. Otherwise, he may fancy himself your tool, or the other way around. I don't even know which is worse. Go. Farewell. Story repeats itself. Aglaia has expelled me, branded me a villain, and demanded I should vanish from the face of the earth. However powerful this new enemy, it's a trifle against everything else I have to bear. Since we're no longer friends with her, should I go to the commander? He would be in the town hall. Now that we're getting actual developments, I want to go find out what happens there. To the town hall. When Aglaia says the both of you, does she mean both Claras? Or does she mean Clara and me? Aglaia explicitly wanting me to quit the game so that I don't get Clara's ending. I do feel like Aglaia is specifically afraid of Clara. She's in love with Artemy, and she manipulates the Bachelor. She's afraid of Clara. Clara has the will to do things that Aglaia does not want.
We fought a just, defensive war, and now they want to turn us into a punitive expedition, into Corsman.
Inquisitor Aglaia Lilac has prohibited me from seeing you. Why? The Inquisitor fears and detests me. I must say it's mutual. Most of all, I'm worried that the mission to save the town, or to destroy it, however you prefer to think of it, may degenerate into a long-range artillery duel. She's surely going to plot and scheme. But she must follow your orders, mustn't she? On the contrary, my duty calls on me to obey the Inquisitor. But Lilac is always playing her own game. I've heard that she was once condemned to death for it. I suppose they pardoned her in the end. She will make a dishonest decision, one dictated not by her duty, but by covert calculation. Both of the healers have clearly already been poisoned by her deception. Why is she overestimating my role in this so much? She isn't overestimating. I have been greatly impressed with you, long before I saw you. How is that possible? On our way here, a lieutenant told me a legend about the holy sisters in arms of the warriors. He spoke of medieval wars, of pilgrimages, of the power of the Holy Spirit that led quiet and unassuming young girls, orphans, beggars, and peasants, to call the might of great armies to a lofty duty. I was profoundly moved by his story. It's a mere coincidence. Coincidences like this don't happen by chance. No, I gave it a lot of thought as we were traveling here. His story had come at the right moment. My life was approaching a watershed. Yes. I've staked everything on this military operation. My mission, my soul, my own destiny, and our country's. I need a voice from above, because I don't know who to listen to anymore. Speak on. Yes, my deployment to this plague-stricken little town was an expedition into hell. It's meant to die here, so it will happen. The old Alexander Block will die, but a new one will emerge from his place. From this town, an army will set out on a glorious march in the name of truth. I just hope it doesn't end in disaster. My work for today is done. I'm still not completely alone. A single tiny hook is left in the town, holding me steady. I am not speaking of a sister anymore, but of the immortal man. Simon Kane is the last person I should see here. And that is the day's mission done. We'll save here. And we will be back next time. That'll be it. Thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. We're getting close. We're getting close to the end. Gonna need some actual cures for the plague, but hopefully those will come in the last couple days. We'll still have to look for side quests. It's still early on day 9, but that'll be it. You all have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye.